Good morning, friends. My name is Dale, and welcome to my channel. I am starting this channel to document my knitting and crafting projects and to hold me accountable for my works in progress that maybe I can finish those and get those off the needle. I am a knitter, primarily. I do not crochet, haven't started that yet. But I do like to do a lot of other crafts as well, especially as it gets closer to the holiday time. So a little introduction, I live in Rhode Island. I have 11 chickens, no other pets. I live with my husband and my 6-year-old daughter. I also have a 16-year-old stepdaughter who is a crocheter. Right now, I am taking a break off of my job, so I have been home and doing a lot of knitting as of late, and I've been knitting for many years. I don't know exactly what year I began knitting, but I know that I was knitting as a child. I believe that I knit my first pair of socks maybe around 2011, 2012. I really don't remember. I know I was in college, and I know it took me about a year probably to finish my first pair of socks. So now I knit like crazy. I bring my knitting. I have projects for on the go, projects for at home, and lots of different things. I never ever thought I would be one to have more than one project going at a time, and now I have lots. So it's funny how things change over time. So I think that I will start with a full disclosure that I am not a professional videographer. This is the first time I've ever done anything like this. I do not have fancy equipment, cameras, or anything like that. I am using my iPhone. So bear with me as I begin this journey. I have my coffee in a Christmas mug. It says Feliz Navidad. I love this mug very much. My sister got it for me last year at Christmas time. And I have my water in an autumn vibes mug that was gifted to me last year for my birthday. So, all that said, grab your drink, beverage of choice, coffee, water, wine, whatever you want. Grab your knitting or current crocheting or project that you're working on, and let's get started. So I hope that you have grabbed your beverage of choice. So I think I'm going to start with my finished objects first. There's quite a few. So we have been on and off since the beginning of school in September. Been dealing with illnesses in this house. My daughter, myself, my husband a little bit. He's fared the best, but it's left me a lot of knitting time as I just rest on the couch and rest with my daughter. So I don't know what I finished first. I'm just going to go through the things. I'm a work with what I have kind of crafter and knitter. So, excuse me, I use lots of different kinds of yarn. I have just some simple worsted weight yarn socks that are my favorite. I also have fingering socks that are some of my favorites. So I kind of use whatever I have available to me in my stash, which is a lot. But I found that I actually do like the two different types of socks. So you'll see that I have, I knit with just a variety. So first off, I'm going to share with you my Halloween socks since it's nearing the end of October. So I knit these out of worsted weight yarn. I did the opposite colors, like the heels, toes, and cuffs. I did one black and one orange. This was the second, here I'll do one at a time, pair of socks that I knit stripes. So I've never done that before. It was an experience. It wasn't bad. It turned out well. and I do really like the way they came out. So this yarn is just simple worsted weight yarn. I believe I bought it at my local job lot. Or maybe this orange was from the Dollar Tree, actually. I think it was. It's very soft, actually, and I think the black was from Job Lot. So that's my first pair of socks. The second one was actually I should have showed first, because these are the socks that I did first with stripes. So these are a pair of socks. These are going to be a gift for Christmas. And I do really like the way they turned out. I like the colors that I chose. The person that I'm giving to likes bright colors. And it was a challenge to stripe 3 different colors. This is also worsted weight yarn, all from Job Lot. So the reason why I like to knit with worsted weight yarn as well is because it makes almost like a slipper sock, in my opinion. I can sometimes, depending on the fit of the sock, I can wear other socks underneath. So in winter, putting in boots, like, it can be very helpful and warm. Like I said, I just knit with a bunch of different things. So that's that. These are all knit with the Crazy Sock Ladies vanilla sock pattern. I think these I do her DK weight pattern. And I think I did a small for my Halloween pair, and I think I did a medium for the gift pair that I made. I will link my Ravelry page on the bottom of this, so that if you want to look through my Ravelry project pages, I'm trying to get better at documenting and writing down more details, so that when I go back to do something similar, I can remember what counts I did and things like that. So let's just continue with the socks. I have a pair of socks for my daughter. These are Christmas socks for her that I will give to her in December 1st. I do the vanilla sock pattern here as well. I just have different counts that I use. I think I did these on a number 2 needle, DPNs. I knit on DPNs. My plan for the new year is to try different methods, so I think I'm going to try magic loop in the new year, but for now I'm sticking to what I know. The other socks I did on size 3 needles. The white, it's like an off-white. It's really hard. The light is kind of blowing it out. It's a really dreary day here, so I'm doing the best with the lighting as I can. The white is just a Knit Picks Bare yarn. I bought a 10-gram mini. The red and green is a local yarn dyer. Her name is Sharon, and I have her card here. I don't know if you can actually see that, but she has an Instagram. Her Instagram is at @rose_of_Sharon, and she does a lot of dyeing for me, and I will send her requests of colors that I want, and she is very great at making that happen for me. So the profits she makes benefit charities that help at-risk women. She uses a lot of natural dyes for her yarns. And I can link her Instagram down below. But I believe this yarn was a Knit Picks Hawthorne. But now that I say it, I don't know if it was a Nomad yarn. So it's either Knit Picks Hawthorne that she dyed, or it was a Nomad yarn, which I will share because I have other yarn that was dyed by her that I'm working with now. And my last pair of socks that I have made are these. And these socks are the vanilla, Crazy Sock Ladies vanilla sock pattern. I did her pop of color, 2 rows of the black, which the black is Knit Picks Felici. Midnight is the color. And then I did the toe in that same color. I did, I think, 15 rounds for the cuff. And the colorway, for the main color, I have my little tags here. So the main color is Stroll fingering weight from Knit Picks. It's a 75% superwash merino wool, 25% nylon, and the colorway is Frozen Tonal. So that's those. I also don't know if I mentioned that the first pair of, or the 3 stripe socks, I did knit most of those in September and just finished them up in October. I did not knit that whole pair of socks in October. I just finished them up. So I thought I'd share them. All right, so that's it for socks for this month. Now hats, I have finished a couple hats here. So this one is a bulky weight hat, and I did 5 rounds for the cuff in a contrasting color. This yarn, I don't know the colorways. I think the cuff color was one that my mom had just given me to use, and then the main color, I know it's from Job Lot. Bulky weight. That's all I got. So there's that hat. The pattern, I kind of had adapted my own pattern after looking at so many hat patterns. I do the cuff 5 rounds, knit the body of the hat, and then just start my decreases that way. I don't know if I have a pattern in my project page for that, or if I just put hat pattern. I'm not sure. This one, though, that I just finished yesterday, this one I made for my husband. This is a worsted weight yarn. I did 4 inches for this cuff here and a knit 2, purl 2 ribbing on a size 6 needle, DPNs. The bulky weight one, I did size 13 DPNs for the body, and I think size 10 for the cuff. But this hat, I did size 6 for the cuff, size 8 for the body of the hat. This pattern came out of this book, which was the first knitting book that I ever got. And I used, it's in a little rough shape here, but I used the stitch count. So this book does not do knitting in the round, but I prefer to knit in the round. So I did the same stitch count that it had, the same decreases that it had. I just like adapted it for DPN. So instead of purling a row after a decrease round, I just knit a row. And then I did a cuff. The hat that's in this book is like a rolling hat, the rolled brim. But I wanted to try this double, like, fold up brim for my husband, and he likes it. It fits finally. I think that I had to start this hat like 4 or 5 times. The first couple times how I did it, I don't know, but I was only knitting on 2 of my DPNs, and so I had, like, the ribbing was this long over here and this short over here. I don't know what I did there, but I finally got it right, and it's finally done, and I'm very excited. So I'm going to make myself one of these next, and then my daughter one as well. The thing is, too, so when I started this hat, I only did a 5, like the bulky hat. I had just done like a 5 round, I don't know if it's called a cuff, a brim, what they call it, but I call it a cuff because I think of a cuff of a sock. Excuse me. And so I decided that I wanted to make it longer so that he could fold it up. So I ripped that out. I had already started the body of the hat. So I just took the bottom part off, the cuff part off, and started knitting backwards. Then I got to the end. And let me be honest, I tried a tubular bind off, and tried watching YouTube videos on that. Did not go well. I was very confused. It did not work. I started to at one point and it just was not working for me. So I then found the Crazy Sock Lady. She's my go-to for like everything, and why I didn't go to her channel first for a tutorial, I'm not sure. But I found her sewn bind off, and I should have started with that because that was so simple. I really do love her tutorials and how she shows everything, explains everything, and teaches it. I watched her vanilla sock video on DPNs so many times. Yeah, so I finally figured it out because when I first cast off the hat, it was way too tight on the brim. The sewn bind off is so much better. So it's not perfect, but he likes it. It's totally fine. And overall, I'm happy to get it off my needles. I did forget a pair of socks. So I only did knit one of these pairs of socks this month, but I had started last year on the beginning of October, a pair of scrappy socks. I started them on Scrappy Sunday. I was gung-ho. I finished the first sock. I started the cuff of the second sock and then hadn't picked it up until now, a year later. So I did finish the second sock. Which one was the second sock? This one was the second sock. They're not matching exactly, and I have to get over that. I like to try and have my socks match, but they don't match exactly. But so I finished one of these socks this month. So first pair of scrappy socks I ever did, and I think I decided as I was finishing these up that, oh, I do love them. I think I'm going to start myself a scrappy blanket and make a magic knot ball and do that instead. Next, let's do things for my daughter. So, I'm not going to let her watch this video until after Christmas, if she wants to. Because I have made two things. Well, the December socks for her, but also I have knit her a pair of mittens. So these are her mittens. I love them. They were something very new to me. I'd never knit mittens. I had never done a thumb gusset. And I loved it. The first one I have to say I made it too short, so I had to rip back and then add length to it. But I cannot wait. She's been asking for mittens for a long time. So I found, oh no. The pattern name is the Simplest Mittens. I will try and post a picture or the name of it on the video if I can figure out how to do so, because I can't recall exactly what the pattern name is, but it really was simple, easy to follow, a quick knit. My favorite part about it is that the pattern was free on Ravelry, and it showed counts and everything for fingering weight, DK weight, worsted weight, and I think bulky. So let me find the pattern. I think it's right over here. One sec. Here we go. The World's Simplest Mittens pattern by Tin Can Knits. And I printed it out because I am like a paper kind of person. And it really is the simplest mittens. Well, I guess I can't say that because I'd never knit mittens before, but it really was simple for someone who had never knit mittens before. They go through sizes: toddler, child, adult, small, medium, and large. And like I said, it goes through all the different kinds of yarn, which for this girl here who works with what she has, I am very happy that it goes through all that, so I'm not trying to figure all that out myself. Let's see. Now, I also knit my daughter a cowl. This is just my own pattern. I did a basket weave pattern here. I thought this yarn is from Job Lot. I can't remember what it's called. I think it's Lion's brand something. And I just did my own counts. I thought it was a fading yarn. It's not, but it came out pretty good, the stripe there, and she's gonna love it. She loves pink, if you can't tell. And I'm really excited about that for her. I added in, I don't know if you can tell, but the fingering weight, it's like a pink sparkly that I'd had forever. I have no idea what that yarn even is. It just adds a little bit of sparkle here. This yarn for the mittens that I used was, I did worsted weight, and I did her the child size, and I used from Joann's Fabric a big twist yarn. I think the colorway is Bubblegum. I'll be able to tell you in a little bit when we get to my works in progress, and you'll see why. The other things that I made this month, I did knit some coasters, which I don't have to show. What else? I'm looking at my notes here. Yep, I got everything there. So the other things that I made was I actually made two, but one has already been gifted. Pumpkins. The other one I made was just solid orange. This I did a little bit of different color, 2 different color oranges here. And so I made a little pumpkin. And where did I put that pattern? Because I had it pulled out. Yep, it was free on Ravelry, and it is, oh goodness, pumpkin, Blue Sky Fibers. Yes, Blue Sky Fibers. I was on the wrong side of the pattern. Blue Sky Fibers Pumpkin Patch, designed by Nancy Ekval. So it has 2 different sizes of pumpkins. I made this small, and it came out very cute, and I think I'm going to make a couple more. So that's that. Next, I made, and I'm making a lot of Christmas presents here too, so. A snowman. So this snowman, I'm going to show you the book that it came from. I love it. Now, last year, I knit my sister her family in snowman, and so there's 8 people in her family. So I made 8 snowmen, all different sizes. I tried to do sizes like the big ones for her and my brother-in-law, and then do the kids all like different sizes down to like the baby, who was a tiny little snowman. Once again, I can try and post a picture of them from last year. I think I have a picture of all of them put together before I gifted them to her. So that was pretty cool. But then after that, I was done with snowmen. My daughter wanted one, and I was like, I can't knit another snowman this year. I'll take a sip of my coffee. So I am back to knitting them this year. She will get hers for Christmas. And I got the pattern out of this book. It is Susan B. Anderson's. I don't think this is gonna come out right. I think it's backwards, but Kids Knitting Workshop book. And this really is an amazing book. So like, I already knew how to knit in the round, and things like that, but it really is a very good beginner book to knit and to learn how to knit in the round. I plan to use it for my daughter, and it's got lots of different what do I want to say, patterns, but also tips, tricks, like teaches you about the knitting needles, about yarn, about the knit stitch, the purl stitch, like all the different things. So it really is a fabulous book. I really like it. It's got some really cute patterns in it. All knitting in the round, and I found this snowman pattern. So the pattern's just called Snowman, and that's it in the book. And then it goes through everything. I knit my nose instead of, they use like fabric, I think. And then I instead of using those, I don't know what they're called, but the eyes, the plastic eyes, I used just sewn on eyes with yarn. So that's my cute little snowman. And I have made some stitch markers. I found some charms and I put them together. Let's see if this will work. The lighting is terrible. Oh goodness. Maybe my hand is making it worse. So I made these stitch markers. That's a Christmas tree. I have a, oh geez. Well, a Santa Claus. Those, and then I have made a couple things with plastic canvas. So I made this chalkboard ornament for my daughter's teacher. It's not quite done. I'm gonna add a little piece of chalk at the bottom. And I'm debating if I'm gonna write on it as well, her name and then the year, but I didn't wanna really show that. And I'm gonna add a string to it. And then I made this plastic canvas ornament as well. It's a double-sided present. I really liked doing this. This was fun. So that too. So I do a variety of different crafts. Like I said, I have made jewelry in the past. That's why I have all of the stuff to make stitch markers and things like that, and plastic canvas. So those are all the things I have completed. Now we'll go to works in progress. So I have 2 pairs of socks going. The first pair of socks is for my husband for Christmas. This is what I have so far. I'm working on the foot, the foot. This yarn is from Sharon. Again, I'll link her Instagram below. But I sent her a message and said, my husband wants socks that have blue, yellow, and green in them. And this is what she came up with, and it's gorgeous. I love it. It's very bright, and it just makes me happy. So this, and I have my progress keeper that I made here. This one was a charm from like an old charm bracelet that I pulled out, that progress keeper. Crazy Sock Ladies vanilla sock pattern, 15 rounds for the cuff, and a knit 2 purl 2 ribbing. Slip stitch heel flap, and the yarn base that she used was Nomad yarn, Nomad Duo, and it's an 80% superwash merino wool, 20% recycled nylon, 100 grams, 399 yards, fingering sock weight 2 ply. So I do like, this is the second pair of socks that I've knit with this Nomad yarn, and I do really like it. I like working with it. So that is the first one. Oh, and then my pumpkin progress keeper, stitch marker that I made. Oh gosh, the lighting. I'll learn, guys, I'll learn. That's my little pumpkin that I made. And then this bag, I don't know. I was gifted this bag. I don't know if it was a makeup bag, like a clutch purse. I'm not sure. But it's perfect for a pair of socks. So, I love it. There's that. Next, I have another pair of socks in a Vera Bradley cosmetic bag. It's a little squishy for socks. It's better for my daughter's socks, but it works. And better for a shorty pair of socks, but it works. I'm knitting these on a, oops, oh geez, oh goodness. The other ones were on a size 1 needle. These are on size 2. And this is where I'm at. I am working on the heel flap and plan to hopefully get this done today. The heel flap and gusset stitches and gusset decrease. This is my little avocado that I made, and I'm obsessed with it. The lighting is horrible. There's that. This is on Knit Picks, Stroll Fingering Weight Yarn, Pansy Tonal, 462 yards, 100 grams, 75% superwash merino wool, 25% nylon. So, there's that pair of socks. another Vera Bradley cosmetic bag. I've turned all my cosmetic bags into knitting project bags. I have a scarf that I started for one of Liliana's friends for Christmas. And this pattern is just a simple, like 20 stitches, knit every row. But I got it from one of the books that I showed, the knitting book that I showed, just the stitch count. I was curious to see what like a regular, what an average one is. I am using Red Heart Super Saver yarn, purple tones from Joann's Fabric, and that is what I used for my husband's hat as well. The purple tones. So there's that one. And some of my more long-term projects that I've been working on that I hopefully next time do another update here will have a lot more accomplished on those. I'm gonna take a sip of water first. All right, let's start with my daughter's blanket. So I made myself a blanket, finished it last year. It took me about a year to make. And as soon as I made it, my husband and my daughter decided that they really liked it and they wanted to use it. And I said, guys, I made this for myself. Being selfish. So I decided that I'm going to knit both of them blankets as well. So I started with my daughter. She picked out the colors. I have it in this bag that my mom had made. She sewed it. Don't know where the fabric came from, but probably Joann's. Big bag. It fits extra skeins of yarn. The blanket perfectly. This is what I had my blanket in as well. And this. Make sure I'm not losing stitches off the needles. This is where I'm at so far. So I'm doing stripes. I am doing a full skein of pink and then a full skein of the teal color. And then I will do, let's see, I have another skein of teal and another skein of pink, and that will complete the blanket. I did start to add progress keepers to see how far I've gone, like how far I've knit each month. So like that was January 1st of 2022, then February. So I knit a lot in January. And then not so much in February. This is April, February to April, April to May, May to June. And I made, I can't say I made all. I made all but one of these stitch marker, progress keepers rather. June to July, July to August, August to September, September to October. And I have not knit much in October. I wanted to start doing at least a row a day. It hasn't really happened. Maybe I'll leave it out though, and I'll knit a row today when I'm done. So that's that. I'm hoping to get it finished for her by her birthday in February. It's a little ambitious, but it's like I sit and knit a lot of stuff now instead of like being on the go or being outside. I sit in my living room more with the weather getting colder and things like that. So I just need to pick it up. If I can get my butt up earlier in the morning, I would love to like start my morning with knitting a row or two on her blanket. We'll see. We'll see. Let's see. Two more things. So another one that I've been working on for a long time, don't know when I started it, is just a shawl that I just totally was winging it and not really following a pattern at all. I'm just increasing, I think every row, every other row. I'm not sure, guys. I'm not sure. I think I have it written down somewhere. I haven't worked on it in a long time, but it's a bulky weight yarn. Ooh, there's a sticker on it. And it's just a striped shawl, triangular shawl. Changing colors as I feel like it. It's a gray and a purple Do I have the, I do. I do. Oh, and there's my notes on it. That's good. That makes me feel better. This is from Job Lot, the yarn. It's a Sprightly Yarns, acrylic, super bulky. 100% acrylic. The gray colorway is Slate Heather. And the purple is a Lavender Heather. So, both Sprightly Yarns from Job Lot. Super bulky. It's really cozy and warm, and I really want to have it done so that I can use it in the mornings, but I've been doing a lot of other things. So it will get done eventually, maybe by next time. Maybe by next time I do a video. Wishful thinking, right? And then the last thing is going to be one of my December projects that I really work on during the month of December, and it is my sweater. I have never knit a sweater before. I have this actually in a bag by Organic Olivia. It says, "Welcome to the Herb Club." She is one of the herbalists that I use a lot of her products. So this is a cardigan, rather, not a sweater. It's a cardigan. It's called Draw, and the design is by Amy Christophers. Yeah, I started it, maybe it was in February? I'm not sure. I have all my yarn here. I'm using Knit Picks Wool of the Andes, worsted weight, in the color Sapphire Heather. So these are all, I have, the lighting is terrible with the shininess of the blue, so. There's hair everywhere. And it's 100% Peruvian Highland wool. So it's like a blue color. It's very pretty. I love it. And I really want to wear this cardigan. So this is where I've gotten. Now, originally when I pulled this out to show my sister, I didn't remember how far I'd gotten. And I was like, oh my goodness, I've gotten a lot farther than I thought I had. Not that it's very far, but it's really hard to show. But this is where it's at. And this is a challenge for me as well because it's something I haven't done before. I had to do some looking up on YouTube about how to do some of the stitches. But it's going well, and like I said, I'm hoping that I can pick it back up in December and really work on that and have that be one of my main December projects. So, put this away. And I think that's all of my projects that I'm working on, the projects that I've finished so far in October. Yeah. I am not currently reading a physical book, but I'm listening to an audiobook on Audible. It's called House of Salt and Sorrows by Erin A. Craig. Not my most favorite, I won't lie. But I do like to, as I'm knitting, I like to listen to an audiobook. Because sometimes I can't choose if I want to read or if I want to knit. So it kind of does best of both worlds, and I can listen while I knit. Or I watch knitting podcasts, or I watch Christmas movies. Yes, it's October. It is October 26th today, but the Christmas movies have started and I have been watching them. Like I said, there's been a lot of illness in my house, and so my daughter was sick, and I found the other day that their Christmas movies were on. So yeah, we watched Christmas movies while she laid on the couch and rested. You gotta find joy where you can find it, right? And hey, everyone's different. But yeah, so I think that that's it. I said it was Wednesday, October 26th. We'll see what the date is when I get this video up and posted. Because like I said, this is all new to me. The editing process, the adding in pictures and things may take me a little bit, but I'm going to work on it. And yeah, thank you for joining, and have a great day.